Harold Earls. He is a former Army Ranger and former commander of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. He's running for Congress in Georgia. Harold, how are you, brother?
Yeah, Mike, thanks for having me. Wish it was under
Man.
better circumstances.
Yeah, I'm grateful you're here. Let's talk about no man left behind and how important that means and how that's not just a trite little expression that we have. What does that mean to you?
For me, one is personal. I mean, part of my job was to bury soldiers in Arlington National Cemetery that came home, that paid the ultimate sacrifice. And I think it's a disgrace to them. It's a disgrace what we're seeing with the leadership of Biden is that he is working with the Taliban. He's asking the Taliban permission on when we have to get out by, and it's going to cost American lives. Undoubtedly, mark my words, it will cost more American lives because of his weak leadership.
What is going on? Like working with the Taliban, like that is the craziest thing. I heard Mackenzie mentioning this yesterday, the head of CENTCOM, and he's talking about how we rely on them to protect us. Like what in the world? Now, or is that just a horrible strategic decision, or is that my pride speaking? How do you take it?
Yeah, fascinating. One, I think what's interesting, it's not just Biden speaking and working behind the scenes with the Taliban. He is overtly saying in public speeches and interviews, we're working with the Taliban, we're asking the Taliban permission. No, that's not how the conversation should go. The conversation should be, we're the United States of America. Listen here, Taliban, this is how it's going to work. You're going to back off. We're going to get out all of our troops, as well as those that helped us. And oh, by the way, we want our equipment back. And if you're not going to give us our billions of dollars of equipment back, we're going to take it out of your cold, dead hands.
Give us into the mind of these guys who service members who served in Afghanistan, who served with these interpreters, who for a long time, this has been a major problem of interpreters not being able to get, or not being approved for their visas. Vice did a documentary, you perhaps saw it back in 2014, with these guys who have tried for many years with all their paperwork in line and all the letters of recommendation from the captains and the Americans that they served with, and they still got denied their visa to come to America. And I just read this great article in New York Magazine from, I think, a former Army Ranger, actually. And he said, this crushes the Americans who served with these interpreters, who made promises even perhaps to do everything they can to get these guys home, and now they're going to be killed. So it's just more death, more pain on their souls, even as they're home, they're here in America. Is that true? And speak to that.
Yeah, for sure. One, speaking of, a lot of my buddies obviously served with these folks, served alongside them as well. And I can tell you that there's already a mental health struggle in our forces, right? 22 veterans a day commit suicide. I had a buddy last night call me late last night and said, hey, I got 3 buddies who are in a really, really dark place. They're fighting some very big demons, one of which I knew one had lost a leg to Afghanistan, right? And he's like, what was this for? Right. And so, as you will see, there will be a cost to American lives downrange. I guarantee you, unfortunately, the sad reality, there's going to be a cost to American lives, both stateside, for Biden's failed leadership.
Wow, that is so interesting, and clearly nothing that they thought of. There's no doubt they never thought of that. Let's stay on that. What else are you hearing from other guys that you know, and general morale of the guys who are out? And maybe, do you have any insights to any of the guys who are currently still in?
So what's been most interesting is really the failed leadership here in Georgia, specifically with Warnock and Ossoff, and then Democrat Lucy McBath, who currently holds my seat. We had a lot of people in our district actually reach out, former, veterans saying, hey, I got contacts of, my interpreter's still there trying to get out. What can we do? What can I do to get them out? We had people reaching out saying, hey, I even want to fly there and try to get them out myself. They were desperate. And the sad reality is you have leaders right here in Georgia, in the seat that I'm running for, that aren't doing anything, right? They didn't even respond. One responded and said, we'll open up a case file, right? We tried to go through the State Department. We eventually had people start reaching out to us. We have 172 people who are actually working to get out right now. They're actually at the gate that was bombed yesterday. And so we now have people coming to us, and we're not even in office yet. But the thing is, we have a commitment to them, and I think the veterans have a commitment to those interpreters and those that help them. And frankly, this should be the stance of every American, all the way up to the president, is that we will do what it takes. So now we've taken matters into our own hands. Our campaign team has shifted our entire effort to getting these folks out. So we're working directly with folks on the ground with military and assets there, and bypassing the entire, Department of State and actually getting some of these folks out.
What would a strong commander-in-chief say?
One, you want to negotiate with terrorists, right? Secondly, yes, you reassure the people, but you need to have strength, right? I think that is the number one thing right now that we are so desperate for in leadership that is lacking in the Biden administration is strength. He's timid. He looks down at his notes. He's instructed to do X. He's instructed to do Y. No, we need leadership. We need someone to look the Taliban in the eye and say, we are not messing around. We will bring the wrath of God, all $2.2 trillion, with our F-35s flying overhead, our drones striking, and do whatever it takes to bring people home. That's the message that needs to be said, and it's not what was said.
Harold Earls, Army Ranger, former commander of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, running for Congress in Georgia. What's your website, Harold?
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's earls.org. So you can reach out to on our website if you know folks that need help getting out. We are focusing all of our efforts right now on what's most important and getting folks out.
Earls.org. Wow. That was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like, subscribe, get more.